How we guys doing? How we doing? How we doing? Let me get this thing all squared away. Oh, there we go. That's much better. What's up, TV? How you doing? What's up, Safety Man? Travis T. What's up, brother? How you doing? How's everybody doing? I hope if you guys are here still in Florida, we're all still waiting. One thing, we're still waiting. It's been a long time, and we're all sitting here waiting for this little storm to kind of pass or whatever it's going to do. Right now, I am sitting at my house. Normally have this is how I do my live streams. We have had a couple little sporadic spots. For the most part, nothing's really happening. They're saying probably by tomorrow afternoon ish, we'll start seeing some of those hurricane force winds. But it's been multiple days. The storm is once again kind of stalled out just over the Bahamas, and hopefully the Bahamas are they're doing all right. Rambo Rob, what's up, brother? How you doing? Yeah. And he was saying good stationary storms sitting on one island for 24 hours, and hopefully that doesn't happen to us. I've seen the other years where we've had storms kind of stall out just off our coast, and anytime a storm stalls out is never good. So hopefully this doesn't stall out. Hopefully once it starts moving again, it just keeps on moving, and so hopefully that all works out. I don't know if Port St. Lucie normally they're still here. The Port St. Lucie lanes, they're still here. Are they open today? Probably not. We've got Christian Sandoval. He says, "Stay safe, Solo. We need you to stay safe from that hurricane so you can run for president in 2020." I hear you, brother. Maybe that's a goal. I'll start at the small level, but we will definitely work that out. And thank you for all the blessings, and that's what I'm doing here. I've done all the prep that I could, and we should be fine. Everything should be fine. The way the track is going, who knows? But the track is saying it's just going to go right up our coast and head towards the Carolinas. So hopefully the Carolinas are doing the same like we are and getting themselves prepared. I am on the second floor, which is actually a really good thing. Our entire complex is made of concrete. Our roof is about 3 or 4 years old, so we have a brand new roof, concrete building, and we face west, and this storm is coming from the east, but we kind of catch a little bit of that north. Any way you look at it, we're looking at some kind of winds and rain and all that good stuff. Hopefully it's not that bad. Let's see here. We've got Angel. He's here. He's got some wind and tide still. For the most part, it's been pretty calm, but we're still dealing with it over in the Bahamas, about 50 to 60 miles away. So, let me see here. Yeah, this is South Florida. Douglas B. He says this is just the calm before the storm for sure, and I don't think it's going to get that bad. Hopefully not. From their projections and what is transpiring, this thing is losing strength, and it is very much on its way north. That's the projected course. Hopefully it does go north, and we'll see. We've got G Rob. He's from Kansas, and tornadoes. They only get tornadoes, and when this thing was pushing almost 200 miles an hour, I mean that's pushing a hurricane, but that's a hurricane that stretches the entire state of Florida, and that's how big this storm is. And I know somebody here just said something. And there she is. There's my Asia. It's not. This is my other little baby. The poor conservatives. He said he'd vote for me, and hopefully, go down that route of running for president or anything that people can vote for me. I would gladly I would love all your support because it's an extremely important thing for any politician is having the support of he's got to be there for the people, and that's what I want to do is be there for the people. But yeah, we've got little Asia Kitty. Say hi. 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 She's but that's my little Asia. And just to let you know, in Florida, uh, when they have a state of emergency and they start evacuating, you can conceal carry your firearm legally without open license. That was put in by Rick Scott, I believe, in 2004 ish, maybe. Yeah. But Rick Scott put that when he was governor. He put that in saying, "Hey, everybody, if you want to conceal what firearm during a state of emergency and you don't have it, you can." There is an open carry. I don't suggest it only because our first responders are going to be dealing with a lot of stuff that they're going to be dealing with, and I don't suggest it because that's going to draw away. Do what you want. Law, I don't know much about it. I do know of it, but once again, I stick mainly to fishing and camping. I'm trying to get into hunting, but it you have to really know somebody that has some property, and so a gentleman, they were talking to me, and they were like, "Hey, yeah, come out to the property, and we'll gladly let you go out there and hunt some hogs or whatever." So hopefully one day I can get out there and I can get some hunting done. Yeah, that Christian. We all need to stay safe. Everybody here in Florida, we all need to stay safe. So even for whether it's a four, when it sits off our coast, it is only gathering strength, and because it's moving so slow, that is just meaning it's going to sit. In the most part, it's coming at the West Palm, Vero Beach, which is just north of me, Stewart area, Canaveral area, all those dealing with a lot of rain, a lot of rain, potential tornadoes popping up here and there. So we're going to be dealing with a lot, but hopefully, it's going to pick up some strength and pick up some speed, and hopefully it will get out of here. And I have experienced some squalls. There have been some squalls that have come through. I have been trying to. The dock has gone dark, so you're not going to probably see too much. But we have had some squalls of like 30 to 40 miles per hour winds. Nothing too crazy. It lasted all of about 10 minutes, and it was here and then gone. But over the dark hours, all the way until sunrise tomorrow, it's I probably won't get too much sleep, but I do want to let you know that I will be trying to let you go, guys, everybody, guys and girls, know about what's going on and how it's going on, because these storms are very dangerous, and if we can let people know what's coming and to help them understand what's going on is crucial. And Travis T, you can carry while evacuating. Concealed carry is I'd almost recommend it. I know there's an open carry law attached to it or something to that effect, but I'm not going to tell you all about it because I don't know much about it. But Cop 350 ZX, if you're on here still, let people know, put that statute in there for them, because I do believe there is an open carry statute during a state of emergency as well. But I don't recommend open carrying only because it's gonna really kind of hindrance on our first responders that really need to take care of people. So just conceal carry at this point and just stay safe. Travis T. Let's see here. We've got Darian Ballard. He's saying, hey, the video keeps breaking up, and it might. Right now we're going through a little bit of rain, not too much thunder, lightning, so my internet may be breaking up. If it is, I'm sorry. This is on my internet stuff. Justin Rampersad says everyone locked and loaded, and as we should be, because you never know who is going to be actually kicking in your door trying to have too many looters. Hopefully these people realize not to answer, going out and trying to steal while there's no, like, I mean, why? Don't be a looter. That's what I would definitely say to a lot of people is don't go out there trying to loot. It's not, for everybody that's probably watching this, we're all not a bunch of criminals, and I can't say that to you guys, so it's not like I'm directing this towards anybody, but it is what it is, man. There's looters out there. They like to come up and show up at your house, and I hope they don't decide to come to show up at my house, because it's not. Yeah, we made the walk. I'm not sure what walk. Yeah, Anthony Gonzalez, right now, the weather is not that bad. We keep getting little bursts of 20, maybe 25 miles, calms down. I know over the night tonight, we're going to be getting a lot of squalls. We're going to be wind, a little rain. Now, I cannot, it's going to be extremely dark. I will try to show you what I'm looking at. Oh, you can't see that. How about that? But if I can, as long as I have electricity, I will show you what I'm looking at now. You can see it. It's mostly just wind. Like I said, the rain is coming and going as it pleases, but the wind is about in the 15 to 20, maybe 25 miles. It's not that bad. So hopefully it doesn't reach all the way to Orlando. They're saying it's going to kind of take that northern track shore, but hopefully it does, and hopefully it doesn't really hurt too much of Central Florida or the Treasure Coast. If anybody was to leave, go to Miami, go south, or go southwest. Just don't go north. They really don't know what it's going to do as it pushes north. So if you're going to evacuate, if you're like I say Central Florida, from that area south, go south. If you're north of that, I would go to the northwest of Florida to kind of get yourself out of harm's way. They do say anything along the coast of Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, they're going to be dealing with winds, rain, potential tornadoes, and all that things of that nature. Yeah, if you had sub Angel, I think you were already sub, but that's all right. Yeah, South Florida, Douglas, he's from the Melbourne Beach area. That's what they're expecting. Everybody's expecting a lot of wind and rain. I don't think it's going to be heavy wind. It's not 50-mile-per-hour winds. It's going to be more your tropical storm style winds, 70 miles, 60 miles, 50 miles, and it's going to come in spurts as that hurricane's traveling, and a lot of it's going to be coming from the north, swinging down, which is, for me, I almost think that's a better route. Everybody says sometimes it's better when it's coming from the south or when it's coming onshore, but for some reason I've always had better luck when it's coming from the north. So we've got Humberto. I'm not sure, but we've got Humberto here. Stay safe, Yacker. God bless, bro. I love your videos. I thank you for watching them. And I will stay safe, and I will keep my family protected as well. And I'm going to jump back over to this little screen here real quick. And if you can see it, I mean, this is, I believe this was at 5 o'clock. There's an 11. But you can see it's still about 50, 60 miles and almost directly across. Like if you go due west from right here, That's about the West Palm area. That's the Stewart, Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce, Vero, almost due west, and that's the main issue. We are going to be very, very safe, but that's long as this storm does go north, and long as it does take to north, we're going to deal with a lot of rain and wind. If it comes directly on land, we're going to deal with a lot of bad. Not just where I'm at, Central Florida, the West Coast of Florida. This storm is very large, and that's the one thing I would tell people is that's the big problem with big storms is that they are very unpredictable. Like this one, they weren't predicting this storm to stop into a sitting pattern, and just like most all the big storms that I can remember, they've all been somewhat unpredictable. Some straight across the state, some go from the south all the way up through the middle part of Florida. I mean, anytime that these storms are this big, they are something to worry about. So that's why it's very important to make sure you have plenty of their canned food, water. I have roughly over 30, 40 gallons of water right now. I've got a tank full of gas in one car, a half tank of gas in another. So I know if things really did get kind of hairy, we could live. We could leave. Yeah, and I plan on doing that, Christian Sandoval. I appreciate it. We got Chris Harris here. He says the storm is not going to hit Florida. Period. The rain and storms, and that's what they're saying. Just like this storm was unpredictable that it was going to stop over the Bahamas, I have not yet said this storm is not going to hit Florida. I'm hoping it doesn't. His saying it's going north. We really have to hope that it doesn't go west. As long as it doesn't go west, we will be good. We've got Bird Dog here. Stay safe. Hudson here on the West Coast, but still don't want this. And no, I don't think any Floridian wants it. I was watching a lot of the news reports from all the way down south in Miami. I've seen them all the way up to up in the Carolinas, and I'm seeing people going out and they're out there surfing, going out there charging the waves right now. And I remember when I was one of those hurricane hunters that were looking for the waves, and I'm not saying it's crazy. I get it, but it's a little crazy, especially for me. I'm getting too old for that. I'm not gonna try to get out there and be crazy. Thank you, Deanne, for showing up. I appreciate that. And you got a little love from Angel. He's saying hey. And Cop 350ZX says the eye wall will not hit Florida, but the storm is so wide that lots of the actual storm will be over land. And he's absolutely right about that. We are going to be dealing with a lot of rain, a lot of wind. How much wind? That's going to be depending on how close it gets to our coast. Down here, they're saying 65, maybe 85-ish, whatever. We'll find. But I've been through storms that have been a lot worse. So hopefully it's going to be all good. Deanne's here. Rambo Rob saying hey. If my buffering should be good, but unfortunately, let me get rid of this share screen real quick because that sometimes that slows me down. Okay, Cop 350ZX, he is saying there is no open carry during evacuations. From what I do know, you can conceal carry, and I'll pull that up because I know that's not a video or anything. Conceal carry. All right. Okay. I'm going to pull this up for you real quick. Hopefully this doesn't slow my buffering down again. All right. So no open carry. That's what Cop 350ZX is telling me. So we cannot open carry, but I'm going to show you this and share. And like I said right here, this was signed in by Governor Rick Scott. Unlicensed concealed carry is allowed during a mandatory evacuation as a result of state of emergency for up to 48 hours, which may be further extended by the governor. And that was a Florida law as well. Let me go down here. And then you can see here, can you open carry? Can you open carry in Florida during a state of emergency? Governor Rick Scott signed State Bill 290, allowing concealed carry without a permit during a state of declared mandatory evacuation. With the signing of State Bill 290, all lawful gun owners will be permitted to carry a concealed weapon if they are complying with mandatory evacuations during a state of emergency. And that was recently updated as of August 25th, 2017. So no open carry. That one Cop 350ZX let me know about, and as the law is written, that was written by Governor Rick Scott, we can do it. We've got Dennis Eggleston here, and he's hanging out from Crystal River, and hopefully you guys will be very protected over there as well. You guys are pretty on the West Coast and up in the north, so hopefully it doesn't even come across the state. Deanne says, looters are pathetic losers. And I've seen all those videos where they run through, Family Dollar or whatever. You name the place that they can break into, and they're all sitting there, hundreds of them. Excuse me. I don't agree with it. If you're not able to get yourself prepared, you need to go to a shelter. You need to get to a shelter to where you can actually have, these shelters don't have all the food in the world either, but at least they can give you something to sustain yourself through the hard times. Going out and stealing does not help the economy. You're stealing from everybody else. Yeah, and that's the worst part. And I guarantee a lot of them are sitting at their house. Stephen Turnus, I'm sorry. I'm going to get back to Stephen Turnus, but CB, yeah, and a lot of people, I think they sit at their homes and are like, hey, when this storm gets crazy, let's go rob this place. And that's the unfortunate thing, is that a lot of these things are like mass orchestrated, where there's like a whole development that goes and robs one store, and it's like that whole saying, they're not going to stop us all. And that's the worst part, is that people actually have to think like that. But Stephen Turnus said, Tunis said, State Bill 290, carrying a concealed weapon or a concealed firearm. This bill allows concealed weapon or firearm to be carried for 48 hours during a mandatory evacuation order declared during a state of emergency. And thank you for that. And that's what it's about. It's understanding, there are, even for the people that may not have a concealed weapon license, that may need to have a concealed weapon during this time. This is crucial for them. There's no sense, that's why I say constitutional carry will allow not just the people that can't afford a concealed weapons license. It's going to allow people that can arm themselves at any given time to protect themselves. So, South Florida Douglaby, he says it's been raining there off and on all day, and it's been raining here off and on all day. I went out and I did that earlier live feed I was out there, and in between me going back and forth between places, it would just periodically just start raining. We've got T-Dog E. He's saying hello. We've got J Love. I hope you're hunkered down, brother. How you doing, man? And yeah, as long as it doesn't get too crazy, man, we should just make sure that we're all safe. Take care of your families. Everybody's saying what's up to T-Dog. We've got Rambo Rob saying what's up to T-Dog. We've got Deanne. We've got Angel. He's saying what's up to T-Dog. And we've got, oops, almost passed that one. We've got Kingpin here, and he's saying, Solo, stay safe, brother. We're thinking about you, and I'm thinking about all y'all. And everybody here in Florida, I mean, especially if you're in this little area that they're saying it's going to be a bad area, that's going to get a little bit of wind and rain and all that. We have to watch out for flooding, tornadoes, all that good stuff. It is dangerous, but hopefully everything works out and it all goes north, and hopefully it just swings off and never hits landfall. I really hope it doesn't hit landfall, because it's always a struggle for a lot of cities, a lot of towns to get back to normal after a hurricane. And I've seen it even in the towns I've lived in Daytona. There was 1 month, it took almost a month for everything to get back to normal. So unless it pulls an Irma, it's going to swing into the Gulf or in the Gulf. And Bird Dog, I really hope not. I really hope it doesn't go across the state, because if it does go across the state, I know that the West Coast has a lot warmer water right now, and it would be a lot more dangerous for them to go over there. So, yeah. T-Dog E says he just cracked his screen on his phone because he smashed the like button. You know, man, I want to help you out and replace it, but man, I don't make enough money to help you out, dude. So a little bit more softer. I hope you got insurance. Yeah, everybody hit that thumbs up. Thank you, Angel, for hitting that. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that whatever Tampa's got going on over there, that's a lie, because this was something that was it's a state bill. It's not even a Florida. It may be in the Florida statutes. I don't believe it is. This is a state bill. This is something a little different. Or Rodney Brooks, I'm sorry. The state bill kind of trumps that. Once again, I'll pull that back up, and I'll try to put that link in there. But State Bill 290, look that up. State Bill 290 allows anybody that is an unlicensed concealed carrier to conceal carry their firearm for up to 48 hours during a state of an emergency. So if you are actually being told to evacuate during a state of emergency, you can conceal carry your firearm for up to 48 hours. I wouldn't suggest leaving the state of Florida. Don't leave the state. Stay in the state of Florida. Once you get outside of the state, that's going to be the finicky line, because you're no longer protected under state law, Florida state law. So if you're leaving, like I said, if you're going to go down to Miami, you're more than welcome to conceal carry. I just wouldn't make a big deal. Once again, try not to draw attention to yourself, mainly because the law with concealed carry is still a felony. And if the police officers don't know that law or don't understand that state bill, they're going to arrest you for a felony until you go to court, and then you're going to sit in the prison system over a hurricane. And I'm telling you, it is lawful and it is legal, but you always want to not try to draw attention to yourself. You know, unfortunately, that's not the case while you're open carrying, because, you know, you're open carrying. But while you're concealed carrying, you know, try not to make any kind of scenes. Don't be speeding. Don't be doing anything that would get yourself either looked at by the police. That way you stay safe. And I think most of you guys do that anyway. I'm just reiterating it to those that don't understand it. Don't be an idiot. Be very smart, be very lawful, do the right things, conceal carry, and most officers don't even know that you're concealed carry, and they probably won't even ask. So, yeah, if there is buffering, guys, I am sorry. So, yeah. And Cop 350 ZX, he's just he's letting you know what you were talking about, Rodney, is probably going to be related to more, like he's saying, more of a riot than it's not a storm. And like I said, there is a law. There's the State Bill 290 that does cover us here in Florida, and that is, once again, Cop 350ZX. If that is a statute, please let me know. But I believe it's a state bill, and it kind of nullifies all that good stuff. Yeah. Jay loves. He's a good friend of mine. He's right around the corner, and he's saying if things get crazy and we get all full, adjust that. We're gonna go fishing. We're gonna go take his little john boat, and we're gonna go hit the ponds, and we're gonna go catch some peacock bass and all that good stuff. So, and Stephen Tunis says, State Bill 290, Rodney Brooks. He's just trying to let you know about that. Like I said, that law. It's more about you being informed. I'm not. I haven't read into that state statute that you were putting out there, but Cop 350ZX, he was mentioning something that's during a riot, not so much during a storm or during a tropical storm or a hurricane where the state has declared a state of emergency. All right. Yeah. And Angel says his gun's on his hip, especially for looters. And just inside your home, carry your way. I don't want to see anybody. I want to see all y'all survive the storm and not have to deal with people that are trying to be a bunch of morons and be a bunch of idiots about trying to steal from people during a natural disaster. It's just mind-boggling to me. James Madison, yeah, he was on the beach. I guess if there is I think this goes along for almost all beaches. When they put up the double red flag, you cannot get in the water because you're not only putting yourself in danger, you're also putting the lifeguards that need to protect you from that in danger, because you're dealing with a lot of riptides, a lot of hidden riptides. If you don't understand with hurricanes and what's going on, there's a lot of moving water, and there's a lot of riptides that you're not going to see. There are a lot of they're basically undertows. You're not going to know you're in it until the next thing you know, you're a half mile offshore and you cannot be saved. What's up, Mr. Rass Harass? And thank you very much. I appreciate your prayers. I think Florida's going to do all right. I think we're going to live. Knocking on wood, but hopefully it all works out. Yeah. And CB says swimming. What the fuck? Or WTF? Sorry. Oops. But yeah. It's mainly because there is so much moving water and people get sucked out into riptides and undertows really, really quick. And it's very hard to save people when the waves are over 5 to 10 feet high. And, it's just not a safe situation. Me going back in my mid-20s and my younger 20s, I did it. Trust me, I did it. I've been there, done that. But at this age in my life, I won't personally do it. For those that want to do it, they've created laws because of this, and that's why they are enforcing these laws. So just be careful if you want to go swimming out in the ocean. Just beware, okay? I'm not recommending it. I'm not telling you to do it. Don't do it. Just if you're gonna do it, just be safe. And yeah, arrested for swimming. Yeah, and I've seen a lot of the footage that's been going on. That's been happening at in the Bahamas. I can't remember the one island, but it was basically there was 3 or 4 houses left of about 15 or 20, and that was just one photo, one aerial photo, and I mean it was just completely wiped out. And Bahamas every year that they get hit by a hurricane, they deal with a lot, and they always seem to come back, but it takes a lot of money, and you have to understand some parts of that country are very rich and some parts of that country are very poor. And for those that in the poor sections, it's going to be a very big struggle for a lot of them. And a lot of them live near coastlines because they're either fishermen or they're boaters or they work near the ocean or something. And it's just an island out in the middle of the sea, of a very big sea, and I feel bad for all those Bahamians out there. Yeah, I'm sorry guys. If it's getting choppy, it's probably more this weather than me. I am truly sorry. So and Steven's out here. He's just reiterating State Bill 290 allows concealed carry during mandatory evacuations. So, and Dennis Eggleston, he's here and he's saying the Glock and AR are loaded always, and mine are too, and the shotgun's even loaded. The shotgun's actually a lot closer. The shotgun's, I'm gonna let you know, the shotgun's a lot closer than my a lot closer to the door. So that's what they're gonna get met with first is a bunch of shotgun shells, and then if I have to keep going back, then yeah, they'll get met with the Glock, they'll get met with the SIG, they'll get met with the M&P 1522, and then what else? Yeah, and that's about it. I've got the AR parts, and that's what I'm really trying to work on getting my AR-15 built. I really need to get working on that. I've been making a few extra dollars this year or this month, over the last month and a half, from the couple videos I've been putting out. I've been generating a few extra dollars, so I should go ahead and really start getting focused on putting my AR together. But Geisley triggers aren't cheap; they're $200, and I want the 3 main parts that I want: Geisley trigger for my AR-15 or Geisley trigger. I want the BCM bolt carrier group. There's a couple of them. All these parts are all like $200 parts. So, I'm talking like at least $400 to $600 in parts between all that. And that's why it's probably taken me so long. If I know that I can go to Palmetto State and I can get the whole upper half for like under $150. But I wanted to really, my first one, I wanted to put all my favorite parts on it, or all the parts that I thought I wanted, and then I could make a judgment on something else. But that's my why it's been taking me so long for me to build my AR-15. But I got one that looks just like it. I mean, everybody thinks it's an AR-15. I swear. DM Marie says she has zero tolerance for thieves. And once again, I know I've been kind of rambling on. We do have a storm. It is coming. It's about how close it's going to be coming, and I'm hoping that we can keep it away from Florida. I don't wish it on any other state, but the one state I don't wish it will come anywhere near is here. Yeah. Unfortunately, Simulation 7, the concealed weapons permit is not $50. The class is about $50 to $60. Then you have to go to the government, and then you have to pay them an additional $125, $130. That's between fingerprints and all that good stuff, FBI background check. So at the end of the day, you're actually paying about $200. And even for me, when I first got my firearms, I couldn't afford it. I had just spent about $500 between ammo. I bought a brand new Glock in the box. That was 400 and change. So I had already put in 500. I didn't have a lot of money, so I couldn't afford it, and I had to build up. And it took me about 6 months, 7 months for me to go through that process. I was fortunate enough to know somebody that was giving away free concealed weapons classes for free. So I saved that $50, and I ended up paying 130. And so it as much as you think it is only $50, and that's what the sign says as you're driving by. That's really not how much it costs. It's about Rob says it cost him about 165. It cost me close to 200. I've heard it's costed others 200 plus. I mean, and that's why I get why they want to do it, and that's money generated for the state. But there's other ways of generating money for the state than trying to tax people on their God-given right. That's why I don't believe. I just don't see the point in a concealed weapons license when you should be able to carry how you want, when you want, and whatever you want. I'm a firm. At the beginning, when I was doing this, I was so uneducated, and I was learning from so many good people, from CJ Grisham, from Florida Carry, Open Carry Texas, from David Ahmad to there were so many people that have been in, I won't say a huge influence, but help educating me. Cop 350ZX, he's another great one. They have helped me understand what our Second Amendment is really about. It's not about this concealed weapons license. It's just the way of a government trying to control who gets firearms and how they can carry them. That is not how the Constitution was written. The Constitution is written for you to be able to the right to bear arms. I don't care, long as you are a lawful person that is able to own a firearm, you should be able to carry that firearm however you feel. Open carry, concealed carry, you don't even want to carry it, you just want to leave it in your house. That's fine with me too. I don't care. But that's the reality of the Second Amendment. So CB, he pays about 150 out in Oregon. Rambo Rob, he paid 65 for his class and then 97 to the state. We've got Kuda Cobb. He's saying you should never pay you shouldn't have to pay to ask permission to carry your gun. And I totally agree with you, man. That's not how our Constitution's written. It's not. Oh, the right to bear arms is only concealed. Unfortunately, legislation and our politicians have gone a route to where they were like, all right, well, we want concealed carry because that makes it so much better. It makes it so, I guess for them, it's out of sight, out of mind. But what about for all the others that want to open carry? Or what about all those ones that want to carry their rifle because they don't own a handgun or they can't own a handgun? Where are their rights? And that's what I would say to anybody is you cannot strip people's rights on how they carry. And with our concealed weapons license permit here, it's an infringement, and I don't agree with it. I won't ever. That's why if I do become elected as a politician, I will push for constitutional carry. If I was a president of the United States, that would be one of the first things that I would do is everybody gets to carry how they want. As long as they're a law-abiding citizen, they can carry legally. They can carry how they want, and that's how that would work. But unfortunately, I have to start at the small end and work my way to the top, and I have no problems with that as well, and I will push for it. So, yeah, CB, he's agreeing with you, Kuda Cobb, and I as well as I do. Simulation 7, he said the power plant. And that is a concern for a lot of people. Hopefully, you know, I don't think with this storm, with this one, we're going to be in too much danger. But if it was to be like a Category 5 and come across and like directly hit Port St. Lucie or anywhere near that power plant, it would be something to be concerned about. And that's what would actually make me want to leave, is that if they were to have a catastrophic failure and it went completely nuclear, yeah, that would be something to be worried about. Rodney Books, he's trying to look up that little information on you that Rambo Rob was saying, or not Rambo Rob, but oh, that's what you said. I'm sorry, bud. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Senate bill. I thought it was state bill. Senate bill. It's even federal. It's a federal law. So under federal law here in Florida, they can't even mess with it. So sorry, sorry guys, I thought it was state bill. Jeez, don't. All right, where are my moderators? We got to get Cop 350ZX out of here. I'm just kidding. Don't mess with Cop 350ZX. I'm just kidding. We love CB too. CB, he's a good guy, so don't mess with him. I'm just joking. Buffering. Angel, he's giving free fishing lessons. That's awesome. Yeah, it's gonna go. My feed is probably gonna go in and out, guys. I'm truly sorry. Once again, I'm gonna take the camera off, and I'm gonna talk really loud so you can hear me. Once again, as you can see, it's mostly just wind. It's not. There's no rain at the moment, and I know that we have a few bands expected around about midnight tonight. That's when we're gonna start really seeing some of the bands. Sorry, hold on. It's gonna autofocus. All right, hold on. There we go. Okay. All right. So long. I hope you guys can still hear me, but that's what it looks like from where I'm at right now. And like I said, the winds are pretty light. They come and go. They jump up to 10, 15 miles an hour, and then they'll go up to 20, 25. Nothing too serious yet. But let's see. Let's see the comments. Yeah, Miguel Perales. Yeah, it's a 22. It's a 22 long rifle. It's not even. I mean, It's like it is like an AR, but it's not like an AR. And that's the weird thing is, like, I try to tell people, I'm like, I always say it's like an AR style variant. It's, I've heard of people converting the 5.56 into the 22, which is very possible, but I cannot convert my 22 into a 5.56. So I don't even consider it. It's considered kind of like an AR, but it's not. And I appreciate it because it's just a 22 long rifle. Yeah, the last thing I saw was moving at about 1 mile. I hear the update that's coming up at 11, which I'm going to end here in about 10, 15, 20 minutes, just so I can start watching the news and start taking care of the family. They're about to start going to bed. Yeah, and and I think a lot of people have paid about the same. I think it's roughly about the same. What's up, Daniel Davis? How you doing, brother? Glad you're here. I hope you're staying safe for this little storm. Yeah, yeah, and just like you were, you paid a lot of. It's a lot of stuff that you're paying the government for. What they're doing with that money, And from a lot of the First Amendment guys that I have, yeah, J Love, go ahead with your question. Go ahead and write it down. But a lot of the First Amendment guys that I've been talking to and what they do, I believe there's a way to FOIA request to see what the money is, what the money gets dealt with. I've seen FOIA requests from these guys that they're asking for all the bank accounts, how much money's in those bank accounts, and certain information like that. And so I believe there is a way to FOIA request a lot of the information of your not only your city but your state. You can find out all the information. You just got to kind of know who to go to get that information. So if you really want to know what your city does with the money or how much money is in their bank account at any given time, go to your city hall and FOIA request it and say, hey, I want to know how many bank accounts you have, how much money is in those bank accounts. And I don't believe they'll tell you what the money is spent on. They'll give you kind of a listing of what they've spent money on, but they won't tell you. I don't know exactly how it all works. I'm still learning the FOIA request stuff. So if there's any First Amendment people out here that know about all that, please chime in, type in, let people know how to FOIA request, because those things are I think they're very important as well to know what our government's doing with all our tax money, with the money that is delegated to them for either fixing our roads or anything. For all the money that they get, where's it all go? I'm looking for you, J Love. Okay. So how come inside? I think this is J Love's question. Is how come inside the waistband band holsters versus psi out? I'm gonna guess that's outside the waistband holsters is a big deal with concealed carry because of the printing. Me personally, it doesn't really bug me. Printing in Florida is not illegal at the end of the day. So yeah, printing isn't that big of a deal. For most people that carry either full size service pistols or anything like that do conceal them, most people print. Every now and again, depending on the shirt I wear, um, even my Glock 23 prints from time to time. But it's only because I wear extra medium shirts. So yeah, hopefully not, Robert. I don't want to be a lawyer to try to be a politician, but uh, yeah. And Florida did make it to legally purchase a handgun and a rifle. You have to be 21 to own them. I believe you can be 18 to own a handgun and 18 to own a rifle, but legally now to purchase one, you have to be about 21. And Darian Ballard, we're so jealous of you because you don't need to have a permit. You, we don't need to have permits to carry concealed or open in Maine or New Hampshire. And I mean, even in those states, you guys have some of you know, firearm deaths. You are at the top. You guys are leading the charge. There's not that much gun crime. You do have some gun crime, but not compared to, if you compare yourself to Chicago, you can compare yourself to Baltimore, Louisiana. I won't say Louisiana, to New Orleans, to a lot of these gun restrictive states or gun restrictive cities and states. California, you guys are leading the. We can only hope to be where you're at, so that everybody is like that. That would be awesome. Um, yeah, that FPL was built in 1970. Yeah, it's always good to know. And Curtis is asking, what about those with mental illness? And And even that one's a slippery slope. I know I talked about it briefly, and I didn't really talk more about it. But with mental illness, um, like there are, I'm not trying to wrap everybody into one because I think there's different severities of mental illness. And if you look at you look at like military that may have PSTD, some of that is manageable, some of it's not. And I think there are different levels of it. And um, those levels need to be dealt with. If they're on the extreme level where, it's hard for me to say where that line is, because I do believe that we do have a mental illness issue, and especially I think it's starting to reach into firearms, and I don't know if it's with the younger generation or what it is, but it's something that needs to be talked about and dealt with. And for right now, I am not the one. I'm not the one that knows 100% on how to do it. I just know that we need to look at it. We really need to start re-looking at what it is, and not so much. I don't know. It's just hard. That it's like I'm trying not to sound, because I think we agree that there are some issues that we need to deal with. But is it the government's job, or is it the family member's job? Whose job is it to try to help kind of not control it, but to help bring that to light? Oh yeah. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, that's a nice. That was a little burst right there. That was probably about 20 miles, 25. Yes, I am that same guy that walked in downtown with an AR. But I'm not. I'm not. I don't have mental illness. That's the only problem. That's the only difference. Is I'm mentally stable, or at least I think so. Yeah. Top 350 ZX says, "Yep, printing is legal and not a big deal. Just for fact, law enforcement and businesses might have to be." And for the most part, I think that's what a lot of it is. With printing. Ooh, that was a good one right there. But with printing, that's what we deal with. It's just people they're like, now I know he has a gun, and that just once again that's gonna get law enforcement called, or the business owners is gonna sit there and like give you a hassle and say you have to leave. So yeah. And two-way fishing says all the money for concealed weapons license goes into their pocket, and I think a lot of times, I'm not saying it goes into their pocket, but it does not get distributed correctly. So South Florida Douglaby, I had a run-in with the Melbourne Beach Police Department. That was fun. It was just me, Rambo Rob. He was there. We had Memory Decipher. He was there, and me. And yeah, the officer just couldn't believe that there was an open carry law, and I'm glad it got de-escalated, and no guns were drawn at us. But yeah, it was interesting. And there's been I've seen a couple First Amendment audits with Melbourne Beach Police, or Melbourne Police, and that didn't go so well either. So um, let's see. Yeah, you can own just about any firearm. You can have it in your possession, But to purchase a firearm is a completely different story, unless it's private sale, and then, which once again, I that's not a loophole. Private sale. If you're not selling that many firearms, then you should be able to sell firearms. Um, she, my wife says the same thing. Dennis Eggleston. Yeah, my wife says she has my eyes. She's awesome. My daughter's amazing. I love her so much. So I love you. I love you guys. I thank you guys for hanging out for over an hour. I appreciate that. We've got Marvin Knox 3. He's saying what, or she. Is that a she? It looks like a she. It looks like long hair, but it says Marvin, so I'm not sure. Hey Marvin, are you a woman or you're a man? Doesn't matter. We're no judgment here. I was noticing your picture and it looked more like a woman. So and it's not every day we have that many women on my channel. I look at the analytics, and about 96% of everybody that watches all my videos are all men. So if you actually when you sign up to YouTube and you're like, oh, I'm a male, I'm this old, I get those analytics and I see the age groups. I see age groups, male, female, and how long and all that good stuff. So I appreciate all of you. Without you guys, this channel will probably still be there, but it wouldn't be as big as it is today. So I thank all of you. This is an awesome question. This is the first one I've actually got. RTB 954. What's the best way to prepare snook? And me personally, I always try to say I grill them. I put them on the grill. I use either some kind of apple wood or some kind of peach wood, something fruity, some kind of fruity wood, not something like hickory, unless I'm smoking it for like fish dip. But I use some kind of fruity wood to cook with, and then I usually blacken it, or I kind of put some Jamaican jerk, or I rub it in kind of Jamaican jerk kind of rub, and I like mine a little spicy. And then I go with spicy fish, some rice, and real simple asparagus. Keep it real simple. Plenty of butter and lemon. Done deal. It's a winner for me. Rambo Rob was like, yep, down in Melbourne. We were it was Rambo Rob, me, and Memory Decipher. It was a good day. And once again, we were in such a small city. I didn't think it would be that big a deal, and it didn't really turn into that big a deal, thankfully. But it got escalated pretty quick. Yeah. Yeah. And Greg Swift, I know that I've talked many a times with David Ahmad from Open Carry, Texas, CJ Grisham from Open Carry, Texas, and I know that if Florida continues to go down the route it's going, Texas and Tennessee are on my top two places to move. And I would love to be sitting next to a bunch of like-minded patriots, like everybody in Texas and just like in all these other states. I just don't know why Florida is seeming to go down this route. Florida was very much a gun. They called it the gunshine state. We're all about our guns here, and for some reason, somehow, I don't know if it was Moms Demand Action. I don't know if it was the Parkland incident. I don't know what happened, but we all, not all of us, but a lot of Floridians have gone down this rabbit hole of anti-gun, and it is just so unfortunate. And that's why we need more people that are willing to try to be a politician, and especially the youth. If you guys are under the age, like I believe it's 20, I want to say it's 25 for state representative, or 35, one of the two. And I mean, who cares? What's the worst thing that can happen? You don't get elected, but at least you tried. And I would tell that to anybody. If you really think that you can make a difference, I bet you can make a difference. Crowbar 2004 asks, have I ever caught any peacock bass? And I have never caught a peacock bass. I've got a good friend of mine. His name's Kwanzaa Henderson. He's out of Miami. He's invited me numerous times to go down there and catch some peacocks, and I need to go ahead and take him up on that. They've got a lot of peacocks. I hear we have some peacocks up in this area in the Treasure Coast, but they're not as thick as they are as you go down south. So if you're from this area or you're around this area, let me know where those peacocks at, and I'll gladly go catch them. I'll go catch them with you. We'll go open carry and do it. Yeah. Daniel Bevis says, for grilling or smoking fish, he usually uses cherry, pecan, or beech. And those are going to be your lighter woods. So you don't really need you don't need a really strong flavored wood to really smoke with. But, for fish. Now, for your meats, you may want something a little more robust. But for fish, it's pretty, you want to go pretty light and mellow, because you want to still enjoy the taste of that fish. You don't want just to taste like you're eating on a piece of bark. You know what I mean? South Carolina is very nice. Yeah, Indiana has good gun laws. Your neighboring state, Illinois, not so much. And Mike Copel, he's at How is South Carolina, and right now they're doing fine. It's all about what this storm is going to do, and hopefully it dodges them too. From what it's looking like, it looks like it's going to kind of be a tropical storm, or maybe a Category 1 hurricane as it gets to the Carolinas, hopefully. But it's still so up in the air. And Greg Swift says I can stay there. He has an extra room and an extra AR-15, and I appreciate that. And yeah, well, you got my 6, I got your 6, and we'll stand shoulder to shoulder all night, and we'll protect our families. Rodney Brooks says, what happened? Too many people from New York are moving here. I think that's what he's saying, is the problem is that too many people from New York are moving here to Florida, and they want to feel safe. Well, how safe do they feel in New York when they still have high crime rates too? Yeah, it's it's going down. It's going down we are taking in so many people from the north, which is not that big an issue for me. It's about their political views that they're bringing down, and that's not what Florida was about. And it's just, I don't know, man. I feel for all the people from New York, but I just wish they didn't bring down their political beliefs and all their gun mumbo jumbo, because that's yeah, I saw it, man. CB, I actually listened to it the other day while we were. I woke up at like 3 a.m. to watch the 5 o'clock update, and I got the chance to listen to it, and it was pretty crazy. Mike Koval, I've got a good friend of mine. His name is Chris, and I will be there. I'm going to the West Coast. I promise. I swear. I'm gonna stop saying that. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm bringing on a buddy of mine, a Florida carry. He is from the West Coast. He is having something on the West Coast. I can't remember if it was Tampa, Sarasota, somewhere over there. He's having an event or a gathering. I will be there. I will 100% be there. And so we are coming to the West Coast, and you'll hear about that. I think I have him scheduled for tomorrow or Thursday. So it's going to be on a live chat, and I'll have him on here. Yeah, and I've noticed a lot of the politics that they're trying to pass, or a lot of California trying to bring it over here, and that's not how. I won't stand by and let it happen. All right, just get through. See what we got here. Yeah, RTB 954. He said he just moved down to Broward. They've got some freshwater canals, and I love Broward and all, but man, dude, like open carry in Broward County is just like, it's kind of like doing it in Miami Beach type of thing. I'm not worried about doing it. I always, if I'm going to be doing it with you, I want you to feel safe, and it's hard to feel safe down there because they are just so anti-gun down there. But I'm about it. I'm all, yeah. Those what color are they? They're like pinkish color. Those Oscars, those things are awesome. But yeah, I'll have to come down there, man. I'll check you out, dude. We'll definitely get together. Uh, yeah, Curtis. Yeah, mental illness is an issue, and it's something that has to be looked at. Is it something that can be decided on right now, right today? Is there a 100% way to fix it? No, because I think there are different levels of. I'm not going to say mental illness, but there's different levels of mental instability. There are, like, schizophrenia and people like that. They should not. If a doctor's labeled you as schizophrenic, you do not need to be near a firearm. There's other people that get um, medication for mental problems. Do they need to be looked at? Depends on how severe it is. And like I said, there's a severity issue, and I don't know the answer, and I want to know all the answers to everything. But the mental illness issue is something that needs to be addressed and looked at, because we're like, I was doing something the other day. They say about 40,000 people, 40,000 Americans die, or 40,000 people in America die from handguns. What they don't tell you is about 29,000 of those 40,000 are dying by suicide, which is a form of mental illness, and 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 like I say, that severity. Those people that are committing suicide are reaching out. They're usually, not all, but some reach out saying, hey, that they're going through these struggles, and some people see them, some people don't, and that's where it's is it and that's the hard part for any politician to try to grab hold of, because how do you grab hold of that issue? And you can't, like, it's something that needs to be looked at. Do I think red flags are the answer? No, red flag laws are not the answer. I don't think people need to be stripped of their firearms until they have been deemed to a point where they are legitimately going to be killing somebody, or I don't know. I'm saying things because I'm trying to make a positive out of it, and it's hard to make a positive out of something that we have neglected to address for so long. So, and yeah, mental illness is not in the 2A commit. It's not. And I do believe in the Second Amendment. It's just right now, like, I don't know what the issue is. I don't know what the answer is, and I don't know. I don't know if, I don't think mental illness is all of the issue, but I think that some of it has to be looked at. It's not something that you have to. I'm not saying that is the absolute answer, but it's something to be looked at. And I don't know how to look at it because, once again, it's such a touchy subject, and it's something that is very hard. Yeah, sorry guys, I was reading some of these comments. Yeah, and CB says no one has the answers. Yeah, I'm not. I'm really not a butter. At the beginning of all this, when I first started getting into gun laws and open carry and all this, it wasn't. I had a different outlook and understanding what I've gone through over the last couple of years is a better understanding of what the Second Amendment really, really means to most. And I'm not saying, the mental half, it shouldn't be involved with the Second Amendment. Yeah, I'm going to leave that one alone, man, because it's so hard to talk about. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a slippery slope with mental illnesses and whatever, however you want to look at it. There are things that need to be addressed, and I don't know how to address them. And hopefully, we can all come to a consensus that of who. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can't even make a valid argument. So we're gonna just skip on past that. We're gonna talk about this hurricane one more time because we know what's going on. I'm gonna get to bed. I'm gonna tuck the kids in and all that good stuff. But we do have this hurricane. In about 30 minutes, we're gonna get another update letting us know kind of if it's sped up, if it's taking more of a northern track, all that good stuff. I'm really hoping this thing takes a northern track. I don't want to see it continue going west because if it continues to go west, it could do a lot more damage throughout the state of Florida than just on the East Coast. Because right now, it's looking more for a lot of wind and rain on the East Coast of Florida. It's not. It still could create some damage, but it's not looking like it's going to be an extremely bad storm, as bad as it has been projected. Long as it doesn't come onto the state or closer than what it's projected, we're looking okay. So, if you are in the Palm Beach area, Treasure Coast area, that's Stuart, Florida, Jupiter, Vero Beach, Port St. Lucie, Melbourne, Cocoa Beach, and even for a little parts of the Okeechobee area. If you're a little bit part of that central to that East Coast, the central part of Florida, be vigilant, get some rest, make sure that you're paying attention to what's going on. If you can, try to wake up around 5 in the morning, get some coffee, and just see what's going on. At this point, I think it's a little too late for us to leave. So I would just say hunker down. It's going to be probably a couple more days of just a little bit more wind and rain. And what's up later, Gator? Hopefully it all works out. Hopefully we don't experience too much power loss, too much damage. Hopefully we don't see anything that's happened like it has happened down in the Bahamas. The Bahamas took a big brunt of this storm. That storm sat on them for almost a day. So hopefully everything for them works out. I really want to hope everything here in Florida works out. If anybody does have has any troubles, has any problems, if you need water, if I don't need the water that I have and you run out and you don't have any water, reach out to me. As soon as I get any kind of power, I will try to do these live feeds when I can, as long as I have internet access or my phone is charged and I can give you quick updates, I will, just to let you know that everybody here is doing all right and what's going on. South Florida Douglaby, he's saying that Palm Bay, the wind is picking up. Hey, calm down. Shh. Calm down. It's okay. Yeah. DM Marie says 27 were shot in Chicago and 7 were killed over the weekend. but we don't hear about this because it doesn't fit their agenda. Obviously not, because it's a bunch of criminals killing criminals. I mean, or it's criminals killing people within their community. It's not even criminals killing criminals. It's just bad people in a community trying to kill their own community, which is the horriblest thing ever. Yeah, Curtis says, yep, exactly, man. I agree. It's complicated, but those clinically or medically diagnosed should have some kind of caution. And I think that's where I'm kind of leaning towards. I think that it's not. I would never, like, for the military that may have PSTD or PTSD. I don't think they should be singled out in this. Like, a lot of people want to single out these military folks because they have what they call and once again, these, there may be a level, but there's schizophrenics, there's all types of other mental illnesses that are being overlooked. And I, God, man, I can't believe you got me talking about it again. But yeah. Yeah, you hear my kitty. Scooter McD, he's here from Texas. I thank you. We love Texas. Texas is a good one. Alberto 12, he's here. He's saying, stay safe, dude. I'm going to try. Yeah, my cat, I think your cat is in heat. Yeah, she's always in heat. Download app windy. Yeah, it's getting a little bit windier here. Like I said, it is picking up. Just before I leave, I'll let you guys kind of glance at the parking lot. And yeah, and Deanne Marie says it's black on black shootings, and a lot of the crime that is happening in Chicago is within their own communities. It's not. I mean, it could be the white people within the white community killing each other. It could be the black, but a lot of the stuff that's happening is communities killing each other, and it's unfortunate. Stevie Ian's here. Iani, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, and that would be one of the hardest things to push here. I would push it for a gun free here, and like no gun free anything here in Florida. If they put up a gun free zone sign, that would be a violation of law, which would get somebody arrested. And I would actually have somebody arrested just to make sure that we got that thing got it dealt with. Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and put this out here for a minute. You guys are more than welcome to hang out. I am gonna go check on the family for a few minutes, so sorry about all that squeakiness. All right, you guys see that? That's the parking lot. As of right now, it's not too. You will get the gust and you will get the breezes. But I will let this thing kind of run for about maybe 10 more minutes. I'm going to run inside, check out on the family. Don't forget, guys, I thank all of you. I appreciate all of you. Hit that like, share, and that subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button. I do have a couple videos I'm going to be putting out for you guys, and a couple more live videos that I'll be putting out over the next couple days. So make sure you stay tuned. As long as you have electricity, I appreciate all you guys. And I'm going to say Soliac deuces, but the video is going to keep going. So don't leave. But if you got to leave, I understand. If you want to see what's going on, you guys can see what's going on. What's up, Bull? How you doing? Yeah, Deanne Marie, I'm still here. I'm just letting everybody enjoy the nice, beautiful weather that we still have here. Yeah, I can't believe you keep leaving and coming back. All right. Um, uh, Dana's son. Who knows? I just got a little update that said it's stalled out over Grand Bahamas. Um, uh, hey, babe, are you watching the weather in there? Yeah, yeah. They said it's kind of stalled out. Hold on. All right. Okay. All right. And how far away is it? How fast is it moving? Stationary again? All right. Okay. Okay, I got a little update. This is what it looks like. 140-mile-per-hour winds, Category 4, stationary again. Uh, Stationary again, and at this point I couldn't tell you. Like they were saying Tuesday, Wednesday, this thing would be almost gone out of Florida, but I don't think that's the case. So we could be looking at a couple more days. Do I think it's going to hit Florida? No. Do I think it's going to graze Florida? Parts of it. It could happen up in the north. It all depends on how far west or how far, basically how far west it goes before it takes the northern track. So hopefully, yeah, the Bahamas are getting ruined right now, and that is it's truly sad to see what's happening over there. But it happens to them all the time. Hey, Shauna, can you put a little can you put some of the information, wind speed, all that good stuff? Watching Weather Channel now, still Cat 4. No, you're good, Stephen Lenny, Stevie, man, yeah, Steven. We're just gonna call you Stevie. Yeah, the Bahamas is crazy, and they're gonna keep taking the brunt of this right now, and I feel bad for the Bahamas. It's really really unfortunate that this little island that has almost zero relief. They're very like, if anything, they may have like 20 feet of elevation in Bahamas. I mean, there's not too much mountainous anything there. So for them, anytime they start dealing with a lot of wind, rain, hurricanes, they deal with the full Monty. They deal with everything. And we do here in Florida. Just Florida seems to be a lot bigger lengthwise, and we have a little bit more. We have a little bit more going for us. So we've got, here we go. Thank you, Shauna. I appreciate it. Thank you for the update. We've got 140 mile per hour winds. It's stationary. Pressure is at 942 millibars. At one point, it was at almost 905 millibars. So it's come up a lot. Anytime you start to see these rising numbers in the pressure, it means that the storm is actually weakening. And that's what I would tell everybody. Right now, the storm is in a weakening trend, but the longer it's not moving, the more it's going to sit there and gain strength as it leaves the Bahamas. So, and my wifey is saying hi to everybody. She's saying hi, everyone. And Shauna, you're supposed to give the baby a kiss for Carol and Angel. Top 350ZX just said he watched a meteorologist said on TV, you know what? We have no friggin' clue which way this thing is going to head if it starts moving again. And that's what's the scary part about this big storm is that it's not doing a whole lot of predictable anything. It's been very unpredictable. It was moving at a good pace. It got closer and then it just stalled out and was like, hey, I'm going to sit here and make everybody in Florida, make everybody in Georgia, Carolinas, we're all going to sweat it out a little bit. And that's what ended up happening. So, actually, Curtis, if you can give me 1 second. All right. Yeah. Hey, Curtis, I don't want this to ever be your last question. If you have questions, I want to give them, or I want to try to answer them. I'm coming back. Don't you worry. I'm coming. I'm coming. All right. I'm going to get this camera turned back around. Enough looking at nothing. All right. Okay. Now. That was good. Hey, kitties. All right. All right. Now, what you were saying, let's see, Curtis, let me go back up here a little bit. All right, Curtis, you say what is for your wife? Okay. Let me get these things cleared real quick. That's one. Clear. All right. Put that one away. And then okay, clear. Put away. Now, you can see that this is the SIG P930, P938. This is my wife's gun. Nice little compact gun. If you can see that, subcompact, I should say. It is it's a little bit punchy, but for, if you can see, I carry the Glock 23, right? It fits my hand pretty well. This gun, for me, is very small. As you can see, there's the magazine's out, but there's a little pinky extension. But for my wife, she has small hands, and even for her, this gun is amazing. because when she actually put it in her hand, it fit her hand pretty well. And even for me, having such big hands, hey, what are you doing over there? For having big hands, this is actually a really good firearm. It's got, the only thing I don't like about it is the safety. If I was to carry this, I would never leave it. I'd never put it on. But for the most part, awesome gun. And I would actually suggest this. Or once again, I did see somebody mention the Glock 380. This is a 9mm. So I would. There's not. I won't say there's much difference between a 380 and a 9. It's the same. I think it's the same bullet. It's just about how much powder is behind it. But I always suggest a 9. And if your wife is anything like my wife, if she's kind of short, maybe like 5'5", kind of smaller hands, this would be an awesome firearm for her. It's a little expensive, and then that's when I would actually look into either the Taurus. The Taurus just came out with a couple new ones. I think it's the Taurus G2S. I believe that's the Glock or the Taurus Generation 2 subcompact. That one's going to be in the $300 I actually probably almost sub $200 range. That is well going to be another good one. But I was fortunate enough to get, or my wife was, to get this firearm at a really good deal. She actually paid about the same price that I paid for my Glock. And this gun was, at the time, was I think around $600, $700. If you have the money, I highly suggest this. It comes, I'm not trying to point it at me. It's, as you can see, but it comes with night sights already on it. Where am I going? All right. See, the more I have to try to turn it. But anyway, it's got, trying to get you to see that without pointing this thing at me. But it's got night sights. Night sights already came with the firearm. I believe it comes with 2 different mags. One's a 7+1, or what is it, 6? Yeah, I believe this is the 7+1. It's got the little pinky extension on it, and then it comes with a flush mag as well. I'm not a big fan of the flush mag, only because it doesn't fit my hand. But for the most part, awesome little firearm. And like I said, this thing, if you can see it, I've got pretty big hands, and I can basically conceal this thing behind my hand. Like, I could almost use this like as a pocket gun. So clear, and we're gonna put it back in the holster, and I'll reload that thing later. All right, now I hope that was helpful. And even for me, if things do get really crazy here and people do need some severe help, I will be there to help, especially around my community. I'm really hoping that Florida, we don't take it. It doesn't take a big brunt. So I'm hoping that we don't end up like the Bahamas, where we take a lot of this storm. Bull, for Curtis, he's saying this SCCY, the Sky 9mm. When I was with me and my wife, when we were looking at firearms, we were looking at the Sky, we looked at the Taurus, we looked at the Smith and Wesson Shield, which I am giving away. I am giving a Smith & Wesson Shield away. Curtis, I will try, if you can get into my channel, look for one that says "Who wants a free firearm?" and that's going to tell you every way to get into the free firearm drawing. That's going to happen in December. So if she's looking if she wants to maybe take that chance and maybe win a free firearm, I am giving up the Smith & Wesson Shield, which is actually very similar, I'd say, to this Sky. or not the Sky, but the SIG, the P938 in the Sky. All these firearms were in that kind of subcompact realm, and they were all very much a lot better for my wife's smaller hands. Me, on the other hand, I can almost get away with almost a fuller size firearm if I really wanted a subcompact. I don't know if I'd go with the SIG, only because, like I said, my hands, but because of that little pinky extension, it does make a difference, and it does fit my hand a lot better. So the Sky is always a good one. I would say like I said, the Taurus G2S, that's another good one. Crowbar 2004, he was saying the Glock 380, in which I don't have a problem with 380s. You can get a little bit more velocity out of a 9 than you do out of 380, but if you're looking at hollow point rounds, if you're looking for self-defense rounds, the 380 is going to do just as good as a 9mm with a self-defense round. But if you're shooting like full metal jackets, I would almost suggest the 9 over the 380. So yeah. I thank you for coming back, CV. We all have our lives, and you have to do what you have to do. And I think anybody that does stick around for this long, anybody that watches this video for over 30 minutes, I'm shocked, because sometimes we just get on to rambling, and sometimes I just want to answer all your questions. Crowbar 2004 says he carries the Glock, the new G45 9mm, and I've heard a lot of great things about it. It's kind of like a little bit of everything. It's kind of like the 19, a little bit shorter barrel than the 19. Like, it's got a little bit of everything wrapped into one. I actually want to go into like the 9mm, shooting more 9mm, just because of I guess cost efficiency. But it is what it is. Sherman Kern says the SIG P365, another great firearm. I know at the beginning they had a few issues with the P365. They've actually had a few issues with a few different versions of the SIGs. The 365, the 3. What was the other one? I want to say it was a 365, and there was something else. There's so many firearms, but that was their first generations. I've heard they've come back, and they've actually corrected a lot of those little issues that they were dealing with. So, and I won't take away from SIG. SIG makes an amazing firearm as well. A little pricey, but still in that good. If you want, sometimes you're paying for the name, sometimes you're paying for reliability. And I think with SIG, you're paying for a name and reliability. Same thing with Glock. Glock's not the most ultra expensive gun, but you are paying for a name, and you are paying for reliability. Not to take away from other guns. I'm not going to say I don't badmouth too many other guns, if any. But sometimes that's what you pay for with the money, is their reliability and the name. So yeah. And one thing about the Sky is actually made in Daytona Beach. It's a Daytona Beach company. They build their guns there. Most everything is done in-house in Daytona. Laurie Browse, I'm not sure. Were you talking about the Glock? I think you were probably talking about more of that subcompact, which is awesome, because once again, Lori, she's asking, this is going to be the SIG. This is the P938. Try to get you a close up of that. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's the SIG P938. They've got I believe it's 7+1, and then they've got a 6+1, and my wife, my wife chimed in here. She's saying, "Laugh out loud, 5'5". She wishes she's 5'1". She's a real short girl, and that's why I say, for her, this gun just fit her hand a lot better than all the other ones that she had dealt with. And for anybody else, I mean, you're more than. I'm not saying this is the only gun for her or for anybody. This one just happened to fit my wife. She has smaller hands, and even for my big hand, you can see that, like right there at the bottom. That's just freedom. But for the most part, I get two here, and then if I really wanted to, I get a pretty good grip on the firearm. The one thing I do like about the SIG that came with it that I wish sometimes Glock would is add night sights. Like, $100+ for a brand new Glock. Why not just go ahead and throw on an extra $80 pair of sights that are glow in the dark? And that's the one thing I like about my wife's gun is that it came with night sights. So, and this sits, like, for my wife, for the most part, this sits right next to her bed, and this is her bed gun. So even if I'm not home, I'm at work or something, all she has to do, grab the gun, and normally it's always loaded. All she has to do, pull it up, find her sights, and go to town. And that's why I liked it. And let's see. Yeah, I've checked out and CB, he put in a little link here. You can check out the differences between a 9 and 380. Things do change. It's just everyday Jay. He's here. He said the same thing. The difference between the two different rounds is that one's just got a little bit more powder than the other, and that's why I say it's more velocity than it is stopping power. I mean, I guess stopping power is velocity, but if you're dealing with self-defense rounds, the second that you start dealing with, like for me, I run critical defense. It's been every time I fire it, I've never had an issue, and I always recommend critical defense or the what is it the HST. I mean, there's so many good rounds out there. Find a very good self-defense round that goes through, that you can fire through your firearm. If you could have the best self-defense round in the world, and if it doesn't cycle through your gun, it means absolutely nothing. So find what works for your gun. Some guns take a little less, some take a little more. I've never had an issue firing anything out of this, from white box Winchester to like I said, the critical defense through this in 9mm. Never had any issues. So what's up, Poso? Yeah, he's a YouTuber from St. Lucie too, and I'm glad you're here. Glad you decided to come in. I hope you're staying safe too, man. If you need anything after the storm, try to reach out to me. If I happen to be doing any kind of live stream, gun's clear, putting the gun away, holster. All right, gun's clear. But other than that, reach out to me, man. If you don't know my email, reach out to me at soloyacker, the number 2, at gmail.com, and maybe we can get together and go out and we can open carry or go fishing or whatever. Sherman Kurz, just letting you know, it's the SIG. It's the SIG P938. And yeah, Crowbar 2004. He bought his first AR because of me, and That's just mind blowing. I'm glad I got you to a point where you felt you needed it. You didn't just go out and buy it because of me, but because of all the things that I've been talking about, whether they're coming after the AR-15 or they want to just take away our rights of the AR-15. I think that's what he's really talking about. Because you know something, even for me, I've had to buy the lower. Uh, Even if you buy just the lower half, the lower, you're still going to be able to get triggers. You're still going to be able to get barrels. You're still going to be able to get all the other parts. So even if you don't buy a complete rifle, just having the lower is going to be crucial to be able to still being able to build an AR. So happy birthday, Bull. I didn't realize it was your birthday, so happy birthday. We've got Angel. He's going to be 62. 62 on August 7th, man. Yeah, my birthday's just passed, so. Mr. Douglaby, he's saying he's getting 50-mile-per-hour gust, and he's up. He's going to be up in Palm Bay, so he's starting to feel a little bit more of the wind. And and I'm sure we're going to start seeing some of these bands start coming through, and that's what that's just part of it. Hopefully, these bands don't get too close to Florida, but I do think that it is going to have. I think we're going to be dealing with some of these bands and some pretty not heavy rain, but we're going to deal with a bit of rain. About the info, yep. If I do, yeah, and I agree that the shield is nice. If your wife has an email address, tell your wife to email me as well, and that way, not only you and her, they're both. Long as you send me a different email, we're all good. Okay, you get that? So just tell your wife to send me an email, and that way she can get into it as well. Yeah, he's got Dr. Schomberry. He's got the M&P 40, the 40, and as well. I have the Glock in 23, the Glock 23 in 40 cal, and I love this. I love it. I love it to death. Her name's Felicia, and she is very poppy. She gets poppy by the mouth, but she is she's good. She's very good to me. Yeah, I I am gonna get the 9 mil. Don't worry. And right now, it's not that I love Glocks. I pretty much predominantly shot mostly all Glocks. Um, I have started dealing with other trying to deal with other 9 mils or just other companies, and for some reason, I just keep getting drawn back to the Glock. I don't know what it is. I'm not like this huge fanboy of Glock, but once again, I think it's more the reliability. Yeah, Hemi Power says Glock 19 simple and reliable, and I think that's why I think I've chosen Glock over a lot. All right, and Everyday Jay, I couldn't agree with you more on this. Oops. The and I would tell that to who was that? Curtis, to your wife. Go to Bass Pro, go to gun shops. They will gladly put any of these firearms in your wife's hand, in your hand, and you may not be able to shoot them, but at least you can put it in your hand to really kind of see if it's a firearm that fits your wife's hand. Because nothing's going to be worse than buying a firearm and then going to shoot it and realize you can't shoot it. Lori Browse, she just got the 365, and once again, that is a compact gun. It is a small frame gun, so it is another good one. yeah, the next time I'm up in Daytona, I may reach out to them and let them know and say, hey, maybe me and Sky, we can start working together. Beretta, Bull says Beretta is good too. I couldn't agree more. Beretta is another. It's a very, for me, the only issue I have with Beretta, in same thing, what I had issues with the Sig, is the safety. I'm not a big fan of safeties, like these external safeties right here. Um, it's not that they get in the way, but if you don't remember that it was on, and you go to try to pull, yeah, that's just one thing to forget about in a situation you don't want to forget about. So that's the only problem that I would say. And not all, I'm not 100%, but I believe not all Berettas have that. You can have them without external safeties like this, but most often than not, Berettas, even the Sigs, come with the safety. I know Taurus, you can get them with or without. The Sky, I believe you can get with or without. Yeah, I'm hearing a fire alarm right now. Sorry, guys. But yeah, it is getting late. I'm coming up on a 2-hour mark. I think for all you guys, everybody pray for the Bahamas, pray for Florida, I'm praying for you guys, for anybody in Florida that may be in the danger zone, the little bit of danger zone we have. Happy birthday, Bull. Happy Deanne Marie. Uh, Glad you got to come in here, Angel. It's always a pleasure having you here. All right, every day, Jay, I will check out that little link. Go to Amazon for the gun glow on for I'm guessing for sights. Um, I appreciate that. That is going to be called the M4 Don't Tread on Me flag. I usually have a link, Amazon affiliate link. It's called the M4. If you want to get this flag, I believe it's like $9-10 or something like that. Pretty cheap, and I do actually get probably about, I'd say maybe 50 cents from that. If you do purchase that flag, I get about 50 cents from it. So you know, every little bit helps. Um, Bull's like 357. Yeah, maybe for Bull, but I'm not sure about his, Curtis's wife. I'm not sure if she's ready for that 357. She may be. I don't know her, but we'll see how that works. But once again, thank you everybody for coming in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate everything. Curtis, once again, for your wife. That's going to be the Sig P938. Really great gun. Especially if your wife has a small hand. Small hand, I would go with this, or like the Glock 380. I believe that's the 42. There's the 43, which is the 9. I believe the 42 is the 380. I believe the 42, and the 43. I think everything stayed the same except for one's chambered in 380, the other's chambered in 9. But everybody, do protect yourselves, stay safe. Be sure that if you don't have enough of anything, if after the storm I can help out and I can give you some food or water or whatever, just reach out to me. I will be doing live videos periodically. You'll probably get another one tomorrow afternoon around maybe like 9, 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow, just to give you an update of what's going on and how much, and of how much of the storm is really affecting us. Yeah. And like Everyday Jay said, this to rack this slide is actually like really simple. You can grab from the back or you can grab from the front, and it's a amazing little firearm. I mean, like I said, that's my hand. All right, there we go. Turn my hand, go this way. There you go. That's how concealable that gun is. That's my hand, and the gun is behind it. Just so you know, I'm not like trying to do some magic stuff on you. Now you see me. Now you don't. But that's how small this gun is, and that's why, like I said, if your wife has smaller hands, really good gun. So don't forget to hit that like, share, and that subscribe button. I will keep you updated on this hurricane as it's going on. I thank all of you. Good night, everybody. Get some rest. Stay safe. Stay protected. Train hard. Train smart. And I'm gonna say deuces. Later.